Hello and welcome back to the channel. Pretty excited this week when the Battlefield 2042 beta dropped. That excitement quickly turned to horror. But before we get into all the issues that I found with Battlefield 2042, I don't know if you guys know this, but Brad Pitt's actually a close personal friend of mine, and he's been watching the channel. And Brad, what have you been seeing?
Look around. I see a lot of new faces.
So have I, Brad, so have I, and I just wanted to thank all the people that have subscribed to the channel. I've managed to hit 51 subscribers, which is pretty exciting for me. My goal is to hit 100 subs before the end of the year, and it seems like I'm on track to do just that. So if you're new here and you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can be notified of content when it drops. It really helps out the channel. And now that we got that out of the way, let's get into it.
We're on a mission from God.
So I really do hate negative whinging and complaining in the community, but when it's called for, it is definitely called for. And Battlefield 2042, it's 110% called for. Now, apparently the build is 2 months old, but in my personal opinion, there's at least 6 months worth of work, if not a year, to do here to get this game up to scratch for release. And how many times has EA just disregarded its own community? When it comes to Battlefield, I'm a massive fan, always have been. I wouldn't say I'm the best Battlefield player out there, but I'm not bad. There's my credentials on the screen from Battlefield 1. I didn't play Battlefield 5 much. It was crap. And so they've got a chance to give us a good Battlefield game and one that isn't broken. Now, after the complete dumpster fire launch that was BF4, they gave us Battlefield 1. Because they knew how broken that game was. They knew their next release had to be perfect on launch. And no matter what you think of the gameplay, the game wasn't really that buggy at launch. It was great. So how the hell did we end up back here again? Do EA executives just not learn? You're gonna lose a lot of money if you release this game in the state that it's in. Now, before we go any further, there is definitely a lot of good, and that's why I'm so pissed off.
Son of a bitch!
This game could be absolutely solidly amazing, if they just put it back in the oven and cook it till it's ready. So what we'll do is we'll go through what I found that I thought was great, and then we'll get into the extremely long list of shit. So there's a new attachment system which you can change on the fly, which is absolutely amazing. You can change scopes, grips, you can put grenade launchers on, switch out barrels on the fly, you can change different ammo, and it's really good. It's not perfect, and it needs some work. Gunplay feels punchy and responsive. When it works, it is really good. Probably the best I've seen since Battlefield 3. I wasn't overly fond of Battlefield 4's gunplay. It just didn't feel like impactful is the word, I think. It just wasn't quite right, but Battlefield 3 just seemed to nail it, and I think this has stepped it up a notch, so I'm pretty excited about that. I was looking through the menus and I found a second crossplay option that was deactivated. Now that's possibly a glitch, but if it is console play, where you can just play console v consoles and cut the PC out, that is a great implementation, and I'm hoping that that will be in the game. It wasn't in the demo, it could be a glitch, so don't quote me, but I'm hoping that that's what it was. And if it was, then well done to DICE, because they've been listening to a lot of the console community who don't want to play against PC players. So for those of you that just want cross-play PlayStation via Xbox, it looks like we might have it. Fingers crossed. They've also added the revive mechanic to every class. That means every player on the field can revive teammates, and every teammate, not just squad mates. Be great if people would use it. I'm sure it'll catch on just like in every other Battlefield game. The new call-in system to call in vehicles and robot dogs, which I think are called rangers, but robot dogs that shoot bullets out of their heads. Awesome. Loved it. Thought it was great. Unfortunately, it didn't work all the time, but we'll get into that soon, very, very soon. So overall, Battlefield looks like it could be one of the biggest bangers It's got a solid foundation and they look like they are on track to nail this game by next year, not this year. Which brings us to what's bad. And I've got everything down in point form and I'm just gonna freestyle this because it's a pretty sizable list. We'll start with the AI. The bots. Calling them artificial intelligence is the height of irony. They are the stupidest bots I have ever played. Often when you shoot at them, their reaction is to kneel down on the ground and hope that no one sees them. So that implementation's terrible, especially when you look at what Halo's done with their bots. Then you got to look at the pop-in. There's screen tearing everywhere, some weird pixelations, shadows just coming across like you've got a massive square cloud, just changing at random. There doesn't even need to be a cloud in the sky. There's stuttering, frame drops out everywhere. You've tried driving around one of the vehicles and using a Gatling gun. It's impossible to use a Gatling gun in a ground vehicle. It flicks backwards and forwards like the gun is being electrocuted. Man, if you're epileptic, you're going to have a really bad time on the Gatling gun in a ground vehicle. And if you're in one of the choppers or one of the jets or something and you're riding shotgun using the Gatling gun and that, the entire thing will just disappear and all you'll see is like your teammates flying around in thin air sitting down. There's weird color palette changes that just flip in and out for no reason, like you've run through ice or you've been next to one of the refrigeration units that have exploded, but that hasn't happened. The netcode itself has definitely got some pretty serious issues. Like when you're rolling around in a tank, you find out that the splash damage is inconsistent. Like you'll fire at someone, get a direct hit and no kill, maybe take a little bit of damage. Then you'll fire off to the side, definitely have missed that person and get the kill. I unloaded a whole clip at an AI who was standing completely still and didn't hit a single thing. He turned around and shot me. The netcode has been a problem since Battlefield 3 and it continues to be a problem. Why are we still dealing with this? You've had 3 iterations since Battlefield 3. The new on-the-fly attachment system glitches out sometimes and just switches what you've chosen as your loadout, or sometimes it won't even allow you to choose parts of your loadout at all. That's most of the heavy glitching and issues that are technical with the game. I could probably go on for another 10 minutes, but I don't want to bore the shit out of you guys. But put it this way, it's not good. I'm not even exaggerating here. It's so not good that I have literally not even covered half of what I've seen wrong with this game insofar as technical glitches, but I don't want this video blowing out to half an hour because it would. So trust me, any technical glitch you can think of, and even some that you couldn't think of or haven't seen for years, this game has got it. Now just move over to some of the design choices that are just a little bit strange, or they're obviously not polished and unfinished, or they just haven't quite nailed these issues. So a lot of the vehicles are a hell of a lot more OP than they ever were before, and then some of the vehicles are extremely underpowered. So there's balance issues with most of the vehicles. I'd like to see them tidy that up. The map size, there's too much open space in between the capture points in this particular map. That could be different in other maps, but sure, it's 128 players. I don't want to have to run for half an hour to reach a cap point if I can't find a vehicle or someone to pick me up. Initially, I thought they brought back the attrition system from Battlefield 5 with the ammo, but I was wrong. In that on-the-fly attachment changing system, they've got 3 types of ammo, and you only have a certain amount of bullets in each type of ammo. They don't all mesh together, so it's not a full ammo count, it's segmented into 3 parts, which really puts you at a disadvantage because you're often running out of the ammo that you want to use for that engagement, and or you're not going to use the other ammo that is available in the other clips, which basically leaves you with not enough ammo for the entire game. You're basically running around trying to pick up ammo off dead bodies, which brings me to the next problem, is that it's really hard to tell who is going to be able to supply ammo because everyone can do everything. There's no specific classes, it's just specialists. And it's hard to know who to ask for ammo. And most of the game, I just ended up carrying around bloody ammo for myself. If everyone ends up having to do this, then it knocks out that slot, so you can't use anti-tank or anti-aircraft weapons, and that just makes those vehicles even more OP than some of them already are. Another weird design choice is forcing you to push up on the D-pad to switch to your grenades, and then you're able to throw them like you would shoot a rifle, which just limits combat options and engagements. And that's not something that I want out of a Battlefield game. I want as many options as I can get. And there's other weird combat control choices as well, like to switch between your sights that you can see on the screen here, you've got to aim in and crouch. And then when you crouch, it switches between your ACOG and your red dot sight. And so you've got to crouch and stand up to get it to happen, which all of that just interferes with the flow of combat, which is not what you want out of a combat shooter. I'm not even going to go into the UI. The UI just needs complete reworking. They've said they're going to be working on this, so obviously we're going to have to wait and see what they do. But the UI, the only word I can think of for it is it's fucked. I initially had really high hopes for this game, and it's just sad to see DICE being pushed by the EA executives to pump this game out. I mean, surely the developers know, and I can't believe that this is their choice to pump this out when it's in this kind of state. I mean, they've probably tidied up quite a few of the bugs, but I can guarantee you it's going to have many, many more bugs that they're going to need more time to fix. Can't fix this kind of clusterfuck in 2 months or 3 months. This is a minimum 6-month fix. 110%, mark my words, this game is going to land and it's going to be buggy as fuck. And I'm not going to tell you guys to do something that I wouldn't do myself, which is cancel your pre-orders. Let them know by cancelling your pre-orders that you don't want this game half finished, you want it fully done. And just so you know that I'm not kidding around and I am passionate about this and deadly serious, I'm going to call EB Games right now and cancel my pre-order because I'm sick of EA taking 2 steps forward and 4 steps back.
Okay, EB Games, alright, would you mind holding?
Yeah, sure.
This car, how can I help?
Yeah, g'day mate. Look, I've got a pre-order for Battlefield 2042. I just want to cancel it and shift that across to something else I've got on pre-order.
Okay. Alrighty, what do you want to shift that $10 to, man?
Yeah, shift it over to the controller, man.
No worries. I take it you also thought Battlefield was hot mess?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah, I gave it a go too, man. I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I can't believe they're going to try and release like that the way. I mean, it's 2 months. I get it's a 2-month-old build, but why would you even have a beta when it's like that and just basically ruin everyone's expectations? You may as well just not have it.
So it's also like all the specialist classes and all that is like,
Yeah, it makes it pretty hard to tell who's the enemy.
Pretty much.
Or who's carrying ammo, or just,
what's the point of having a medic when you're not really a medic?
Yeah, it needs work, eh?
Yeah, alright, that's transferred for you, man.
Too easy, man. Thank you.
Alright, thanks, out.
Catch up. Well, I think that tells you everything that you really need to know about Battlefield 2042. If you didn't get a chance to try it out, that's the general feeling amongst the community. Yeah, I don't know. Cancel your pre-orders. Cancel them all. So yeah, excuse the rant, guys, but it just had to put it out there that this is just not good. Not good. If you stuck with me all this time and you like the content, please hit like and subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell so you know when I drop another video. And if you want to tell me your thoughts on Battlefield 2042, you can leave a comment down below, or you can find me on Twitter at Riskit4TB. I did have to do a sneaky capture with this on my iPhone, but all my new hardware lands on the 20th of October. So there'll be no more of that. And don't forget, you got to risk it for that biscuit.